All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the ASAP Sports Network. I am Ace from the West Coast, and tonight I am joined by none other than, we call him the J Mac and Cheese, or you can call him Mac and Cheese if you would like to, because that is the new name now. It's the old Mac and Cheese. How's it going,
J Mac and Cheese?
I gotta say, Vic inspired this name change, by the way. She said last week I'm calling him J Mac and Cheese, and well, J Mac and Cheese was born.
J Mac and Cheese. I like it. I like it. I like it. And then, of course, we have Will. He's down 50.
Heck yeah, I am.
And how's it going tonight?
Man, today is a monumental day for me. It felt great. Anybody who doesn't know, I'm celebrating down 50 pounds from my heaviest weight back in July. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's glad to be here. Glad to bring more entertaining content. Let's get popping. And thank you, Madison, and everybody else who has said all types of kind words on Facebook and all other social platforms. It means a lot. It doesn't stop here. This is just the beginning. So let's keep it moving.
And then, of course, we have who we call the Queen of the Quack Attack. We call her. How's it going?
It is going all right.
All right. I love to hear it. So before we jump into our topics, because I'll tell you what, we have some great topics tonight. But before we jump into them, we need to do a little bit of housekeeping, right? So obviously, the first sponsor that we're going to talk about is Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. So, Vic, you go ahead and take it away.
Paparazzi. Accessories.com/160920. 24/7 shopping. This is great stuff. I've bought from her twice. Super fast shipping. No problems. Lead and nickel free. Everything's $5. I sent my cousins earrings for Christmas, and they absolutely love them. I love my necklaces and my bracelets. I got rings as well. All kinds of bling. Valentine's Day is coming up, guys. Time to fork out some cash. Buy your girl a present or buy your boy a present, whichever way it's going. Because they got men and women's jewelry. 24/7 shopping, like I said, online. FedEx brings it right to your door. She's our first sponsor. Let's give a little payback. Come on, she's been out with us from the beginning. Let's go buy some stuff.
I love it. And Vic, by the way, are you rocking any of that bling right now?
Not at the moment, but I have some on my desk next to me if you want to see it. I just gotta.
Oh, absolutely. Why don't you go ahead and hold a little bit of that up there so they can actually see
This is my bag of Funyuns, not from Paparazzi.
Right?
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
You could. I mean, you could.
From Suzanne's Paparazzi, get your $5 bag of Funyuns.
Oh, she lost her camera. Okay, so while she's getting a little bit of that paparazzi jewelry going, it's all good. All right, so the next one we're going to talk about is that Misty Meadows. So, J-Mac, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that Misty Meadows?
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you that I just ordered some stuff from the store myself. I got some barbecue sauce.
Oh,
give me a yeah on the barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
And I ordered some jam. They got some great jam there. Oh yeah, I mean you can't go wrong.
Good.
And they are located at 48053 Highway 101 South in Bannon, Oregon. Their phone number is 541-347-2575, and it is OregonMade.com to order that. And they got great gift packs. You get like 6 jellies in there, and so great. Yep, check them out.
Check them out.
I, on the other hand, want to get some bacon barbecue sauce because I'll tell you what, that is delicious because bacon, we all know bacon goes good on freaking anything there is. Bacon makes everything better. So, the last little bit of housekeeping
Found the
we have.
bracelet.
So, Mr. Will Polston, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about how you can win one of those free shirts?
Well, we already see the reigning and defending viewer of the month, Madison, down there in the comment section. Now we're seeing Kristen in the comment section as well. You could be just like them. Be down in the comment section. Go ahead, shoot us a message throughout the show. Make sure you like the video, share the video, comment on the lives. Do everything you can to help build the brand. We're going to tally it all up at the end of the month, and whoever has the most will win their very own ASAP Network t-shirt and be crowned our viewer of the month.
I love it.
FYI, my mom
Yes,
had me tested, and I'm not crazy.
Oh,
Good.
okay.
Good.
All right, Will. So let's say
Breaking news.
They're
Breaking
working. So let's say they're working and they can't hop on, or they're too late in the month, and they're like, you know what? I still want one of those shirts. What can they do to get one of those shirts?
Spam us in the comments. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead and message one of the beautiful people you see on screen, or maybe that one of those beautiful voices you're hearing if you're listening to an audio version of this. And you can go ahead and we will get you your very own shirt for $14.99 plus shipping and handling. We'll get you your very own ASAP Network t-shirt ASAP.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's that.
All right. So our first topic of the night, everybody knows that on Wednesday nights, we always go over a top 5 best quarterback list of a current team. Well, I'll tell you what, tonight
I apologize in advance.
we got the lucky draw where tonight we get to talk about the top 5 Panthers quarterbacks of all time. And I'll tell you what, boy, was it a list.
Oh,
It's definitely a list.
Oh, yeah.
it's a list of something.
It's a list.
Because when I looked at a top 5 list of Panthers quarterbacks, legitimately there was probably a top 2 because the top 5 was really hard to come up with. So I went with 2. So with this one, you know what? You know who gets to do the pleasure tonight of giving us their top 5 list first? Of course, tonight that's got to go with J-Mac. I've got to go with J-Mac.
Yay, mac and cheese.
So J-Mac, you go ahead and give us your top 5 list.
All right. Like I was telling these guys before the show started, our little pre-production deal before the show, I had 3 that came to mind as soon as this topic came out. Finding the other 2 was not easy. It really was not. So I just put some names on a dartboard and threw some darts for the last 2. So number 5, without further ado, here we go. Number 5, Rodney Peete. I think he played like 7 games or 8 games for them in a season, but they were competitive while he was there. So Rodney Pete's number 5 by luck of the draw. Number 4. This one was even harder because Rodney Peete came up first and he probably could have been 4, but number 4. Oh, yeah. See, I'm still thinking. No, number 4, Steve Berline, just because, again, I hit it on the dartboard. So Steve Berline was 4. Number 3. Now, these 3 came pretty easy to me, but I put him at 3 because he's never really led the team anywhere, but he was the first quarterback in franchise history, and so he had a lot of the records when he left the team. That is Sir Kerry Collins. Was their expansion quarterback. So how great are you going to do in his expansion team? I think he did the best with what he had. He had a pretty solid career by the time he left. And was, of course, the passing leader because he was the first one. So, number 2 for me is Jake Delhomme. He led him to the playoffs. He led him to the longest playoff game in NFL history, actually. So he did pretty well there. And then just all of a sudden started to turn the ball over like crazy in that last year. I don't know what happened. He was good. But he was like better than good, better above average, then he was good, and then just, turned into a turnover machine. Not quite as bad as Nathan Peterman, but, right there. And number 1, Cam Newton. I know Vic's going to say I don't like Cam Newton, and I get it, but you can't deny the fact that he is the best quarterback in franchise history. So that's my list, 1 through 5.
All right. So that list, obviously, the 5 and 4 on that one are just because I kind of went the same route on that too. But Will tonight actually said he kind of went a different route on this one. So I really, really want to know your list. So Will Polston, go ahead and give us your top 5 because I'm really to see what route you went with this.
Whew. Anybody listening at home, anybody watching this live now, this is your moment to take a break and pause the show, especially if you're a Carolina Panthers fan, because this is about to get a little insulting. So I'm sorry. I'm going about this in a bad way, but I'm creative with it. So I'm going to get one. No, it's not a rant. It's not a rant. I have nothing to rant about the Panthers. The Panthers
J Mac and cheese away.
The Panthers have done nothing to make me need to rant about them. No, not at all. Let me get 1 and 2 out of the way because they should be unanimous. Cam Newton, number 1, and Jake Delhomme, number 2. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Cam Newton leads and wins passing yards, passing touchdowns. Delhomme second in wins, passing yards, passing touchdowns. It makes sense when you look at it. They are statistically superior to every other quarterback that's ever stepped foot into a Carolina Panthers uniform. But while we're on the note, let me tell you 3 great names that have stepped foot into that Carolina Panther uniform as well. My number 5, ladies and gentlemen, Josh McCown. Yes, in his career with Carolina, he went 1 for 6 for 2 yards over 2 seasons. I don't care. That guy's a journeyman. That guy's got a resume that a lot of people can't compete with. He is a former J-Mac Spotlight Player of the Week, and that doesn't happen to just anybody. This guy has been on one of the most teams for a single player in NFL history. Congratulations for your 6 passes you attempted in the Carolina. Count it, book it. It's on the list. So congrats to Josh McCown. Number 4. PJ Walker, former XFL MVP. That's an accomplishment that nobody else can say right now. As of no other Carolina Panther quarterback has that award. And it sets him apart differently from everybody else. Sure, his stats might not be there, but what Panthers quarterback is. I went about this differently. Whenever we're talking about it, who's had a more successful career? PJ Walker has. So number 3, I think he's also that man in the top right corner, Taylor Henneke. Did we see this playoff game last week? This guy is phenomenal. This guy's going to work his way into a starting spot next year. I'm booking it. I'm writing it down. It's guaranteed. Taylor Henneke has the only reason I'm putting him above PJ Walker. He doesn't have an MVP, but he has shown me he can do it at the NFL level. And he played very well against the Bucs, a Bucs defense that is very good in this NFL day. And so congrats to Taylor Henneke. In my eyes, you are the 3rd best quarterback to ever play for the Carolina Panthers. 2 and 1, Jake Delhomme, Cam Newton. But those other 3, I like to have fun here. And so that's my easiest way to have fun with a Carolina Panthers quarterback list is to throw some jabs in there. So that's my top.
All right. So, Will, I love your list, and I'll tell you what. I kind of did – mine wasn't similar in a way. I kind of did – I went by people that I like, and I'm not saying that they're good. I'm like, these guys would never be on anybody else's list, so I'm going to throw them on there because I felt bad for them. So obviously number 5, I'm like, I got to throw in this bad man named Chris Winkie. And the reason why I had to put Chris Winkie as number 5 is because you got to think this guy lost 17 consecutive starts in his career. And then when he started a game for Carolina, what did they do? Well, that was a year that they had D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart at running back. So they each ran the ball 35 times in that game, and Chris Winkie threw 5 passes, completed 2 for 8 yards, but he threw a touchdown. And that touchdown was the deciding factor. So I'm like, guess what? Chris Winkie, you are on my list. Congratulations. Now, Will, I kind of went the same route as Josh McCown. I had to throw Josh McCown on this list only because I think Josh McCown, in a way, deserves some credit. he does deserve a little bit of credit for how many teams he's played for, not for Carolina. I'm just saying for how many teams
2 yards.
Played for. And he hasn't really done much, but he's that journeyman guy, so you kind of got to feel good for him. And then number 3 was Kerry Collins, because you have to put him up there, the first ever Panthers quarterback. And then you go to number 2. How can you not go with Jake Delhomme? And then obviously number 1, I hate to say it, but Cam Newton won the MVP for him. You got to put him up there. All right, Vic, go ahead and give me your list.
All righty. It has a lot of the same names. Number 5, I went with Rodney Peete, because he was the best option at number 5, I guess. Number 4, I went with Steve Berline. Old school, had some decent numbers, not anything to write home about. Mama's not going to be proud, but, What are you going to do? He played there for 4 years. He had 89 touchdowns and 50 interceptions, so it was better than a lot of people. Number 3, we have Kerry Collins. Of course, he was a number 1 pick. I mean, played there for 3+ years, 51 touchdowns, 54 interceptions, but he was the number 1 guy coming to a brand new franchise. So, I mean, he wasn't too shabby. And then at number 2, because I am not giving him the number 1 spot, Cam Newton, number 2, led them to their second Super Bowl that they got blown out in. I mean, he changed the game for them, but his time there, he had 160 touchdowns, 64 interceptions, and 18,000 yards. So not too bad, but his time there ended kind of silently, and he just kind of disappeared off the radar as their guy. So something happened there. And at number 1, Mr. Jake Delhomme, because the dude took him to their first Super Bowl. It was the infamous Janet Jackson's nipple Super Bowl. Let's not forget that.
How could we forget that?
Right?
No one
lost to the Patriots, but a lot of teams lost to the Patriots. He led in 2 more playoff appearances. Had a horrible 6 turnover night and on his birthday. So on his birthday, he turned the ball over 6 times.
I'm fine.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say I'm definitely not going to read all those teams.
Lots of teams. Noted. Josh Young.
What the hell? Nathan, stop it.
Yeah, Nathan. You're going off the rails. Stay off the booga sugar. What does that mean?
So, yeah, number 1, Jake Delhomme. I mean,
all right.
First guy, come on. He's got to be it.
We all know how good this first topic was. Top 5 Panthers quarterbacks of all time. How could you go wrong? Yeah, very, very spicy.
So many ways.
Now, I got to know, if you're a Panthers quarterback and you're watching this show, do you just get disappointed with you being like, man, our quarterbacks in history have sucked?
I'd be more disappointed if I was on the list, honestly. I don't – it's more of a wall of shame than it is anything. Congratulations. If your name's not Cam Newton or Jake Delhomme, you're only on there just because of personal preference. I mean –
pretty much.
At least with the Bucks, there was a couple names that have been there a while, maybe, who have put up stats. Nobody.
I would say right now the NFC South it has probably been the worst division that we've done so far. Like, they've had the worst quarterbacks in like the history so far that we have done.
Congrats.
And I will tell you this. This next topic that we're going to do was actually my favorite topic of the night. And the reason is because a lot of times we talk about dominant male athletes. Everyone's like, oh, you know what? Who's the most dominant male athlete of all time? Well, what's one thing we always forget? People don't talk enough about who was the most dominant female athlete there ever was. So you know what? Tonight, that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about who we thought was the most dominant female athlete of all time. And since Vic is the female on the show, I only find it fair that we go ahead and we start with the Vic, number 1.
I love it. I love it. All right. So I took a long time to think about this one. I thought, do I go basketball? Do I go soccer? Do I go tennis? Do I go golf? Do I go track and field? Do I go volleyball? Do I go softball? I went track and field. And her name is Jackie Joyner Kersee. She's a 6-time Olympic medalist, broke so many barriers in track and field during her career. She became the first athlete to score over 7,000 points in a heptathlon. Those that don't know, that's a 7-event contest with a wide range of skills. That's running, that's throwing, that's strength, that's endurance. She was the first one to win the heptathlon in consecutive Olympic Games in 88 and 92. So I'm going back a little bit because, she's old school. She's just amazing. She doesn't get as much credit as she needs. She not only gave on the track and field, she gave off the track and field. She founded multiple, foundations that help at-risk kids. She co-founded Athletes of Hope, which encourages pro athletes to become involved in charitable causes. So she thought outside of herself. She became a true champion on and off the field. Jackie Joyner Kersee. Anybody doubts it, come fight me.
Fight her.
Come on.
I like it.
Bring it.
All right. Well, guess what? You're up next.
Oh, who? Little old me? So whenever I was trying to come up with this, whenever I was doing my research, trying to look into some other names, I was really just trying to find a way to get away from Serena Williams. And then I looked at Serena Williams' track record, and I couldn't. And I really could not. This woman was the Associated Press Female Athlete of the Decade, a 4-time Olympic gold medalist, has 23 Grand Slam singles titles, along with 14 Grand Slams duos titles with her sister Venus. I mean, whenever you're talking about it, she's dominant. I mean, it's one of the most prominent female athletes whenever it comes to sports. No matter if you are a male, whether you're a female, there's one name that you can always say, especially when it comes to female sports, that will never go unforgotten, and that's Serena Williams. Probably, honestly, not even women alone. I think putting the word female in this almost does this a little bit of an understatement, because Serena Williams is one of the most dominant solo athletes, regardless of gender, of all time. I mean, this girl she's nuts. I mean, the way that she just controls the tennis court, she does it on a level unseen. And it's just, we're blessed to see it. We're blessed to be a part of the era with Serena Williams and Venus as well. Both phenomenal at their craft. But I tell you what, man, she is something special. So I had to go with Serena Williams.
Yeah, when you talk about Serena Williams, I kind of feel bad for Venus in a way, because Venus, her whole entire career was pretty much overshadowed by Serena, because when you talk about the sisters, everyone's like, oh, well, Serena is way better. But don't take away the accomplishments that Venus has done, for sure. It's just, you can't overlook what Serena has done in her whole career as a tennis player. It's amazing. And J-Mac and I have had this conversation on Sportsminute before when we talked about the best female tennis players that there was. All right, so J-Mac, go ahead and give me your most dominant female athlete ever.
All right. Well, like Will, I looked around at different sports, much like Vic as well. And you know what I came up with is I came up with skiing. And there's one name in women's skiing that is above the rest. Now, for us folks, that are in our 30s now, we would think the name Peekaboo Street, because that's who we remember from when we were kids. But there's one woman that has really come above her as far as I'm concerned. Vic, do you know where I'm going with this? Who it's going to be?
I think I have an idea, yeah.
Lindsey Vonn.
Oh, yeah.
Lindsey Vonn. So just to put this just put this not lightly, I guess. I was going to say, put it lightly, but you can't really put this lightly. She has raced before. By the way, she retired in 2019 because of her injuries. She was in a bad skiing accident, unfortunately. But to put that into perspective, she has raced 153 races in her career if in the World Cup finals, and 137 of those she's landed on the podium. First, second, or third place, 137 out of 153 times. That's a better career win percentage than Tom Brady. Like, that's just unreal. That means 16 times she has not been in the top three. And she's been first place in those 82 times. She's won first place on the podium. Out of 153, more than half the time she's been first place. Second place 35 times, and bronze 20 times. And those are not just one category. She has done this downhill, Super G, giant, slalom, combined, and parallel. She has won. She's been on the podium in every one of those events. Is that not insane? That's just crazy.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. Great. And I'm glad that we're all going kind of different routes on these, because it shows you that the different dominant females that were in all these different types of sports that I feel like people don't talk about enough. So the one that I talked about, so when you guys think about WNBA, what female comes to mind first?
Cheryl Swoops.
Diana Taurasi.
Sue Bird.
I actually went with Lisa Leslie. And the reason why I went with Lisa Leslie was because you remember what she did back in 2002. In 2002, she actually broke that gender barrier where she became the first female to ever dunk in the WNBA. I was like, oh, she dunked it. That was incredible. We all like to see dunks in the NBA. Well, how about the WNBA? That's just as impressive. All right. So when we talk about Lisa Leslie, there's some other things that we need to look at too. We need to look at, she was also a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. She was a 3-time MVP of the WNBA, and she was also a 2-time FIBA World Cup gold medalist. And in 2002, she was the World Cup MVP also. When she retired in 2009, she was actually the leading scorer and leading rebounder of all time in WNBA history. So for me, she was the one personally that put WNBA on the map. So I know you think about Sue Bird now, which that's where Vic goes, because we all know Sue Bird has been around for a while. And she just keeps going. She keeps going. But Lisa Leslie is the one that comes to mind with the most dominant female athlete of all time. Yes, Will.
Can I give an honorable mention?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so this one's not going to be a big. This is almost like a Will Spotlight player here. This is almost what this is. This is a name that's on the up and coming whenever it comes to female athletes. And I know this because I got the privilege to cover her at my University of South Florida. She is a pitcher on the USF softball team and plays for the Great Britain national team. And her name is Georgina Corrick. Now, to give you guys an idea a little bit of Georgina Corrick, last year in a Power 6 conference, she finished third all time. She finished third in voting for the Softball USA Player of the Year. And in her time at college, she is. Let me get the career stats for you because it's mind-boggling here. She has had 52 wins, and out of those 52 wins, 19 of them have been shutouts. In her time there, she is holding a 1.36 ERA over 3 years, holding opponents to a 184 batting average, and striking out over 5 times the amount of people that she is walking. This girl is an absolute unit. She's going into her senior season this year. If you're a big fan of collegiate softball, keep an eye on the University of South Florida. Georgina Corrick, keep the name in your head. She just combined for the 27th no-hitter in our program's history last season, and I got the privilege to call that game. She is just on another level whenever it comes to pitching. Absolute crazy. Her ERA was under 1 almost the entire year until the final game. I think she gave up 2 or 3 runs, but she's on another level. She is so fun to watch. So, little spotlight player for you, Georgina Korick, USF softball. Go check her out.
For a second, I thought you were going to go with Miss Jenny Finch for a second.
Oh.
I legitimately thought you were going to go there.
I took the cake on that one last week.
Yeah, I just thought that's where you were going to go with it when you started talking about.
I got to show my little spotlight player skills here. Every once in a while, I got to dig deep. People have heard the name Jenny Finch, but nobody knew Georgina, and you need to know Georgina.
No, I completely agree. I just thought when you were talking about on the dominating side and women's softball, I literally thought you were going to go with Jenny Finch because I'm like, she dominated that sport. And that's like the first name you think of when it comes to softball. You think of Jenny Finch.
Also, I meant to say, out of 70 career starts, 42 complete games, 19 of those being shutouts. She is a workhorse. Go watch her. It's so fun. Go Bulls. I see it in the comments section. Shout out Madison, USF alum, baby. Let's get it.
That's amazing. I love it, Will. I love the honorable mention. It's always great. I love to hear it. All right, so now we go on to our next topic. But I will say this. I think over the course of a couple weeks, we will touch on more of the women's side of sports because this is something that we need to touch on more. I feel like people want to hear it. And it's a great topic. So we're going to touch on more women's sports coming in the coming weeks. All right. So now we're going to go to the NL Central. We're going to do predictions of the NL Central. So since Will Polston's favorite team plays in the NL Central, I am going to actually let Will Polston go ahead and lead this one off. So go ahead and give us your predictions of the NL Central. And I can tell you now, I don't think he's going to be biased on this at all. So,
all right. Well, let's start with last because it's the only right answer. The Pittsburgh Pirates. They're back. Okay, and we're all going to put them at 5. I don't think anybody else is going to put them anywhere other than 5.
Just to spite you, I will right now.
Please. Thank you. The Pittsburgh Pirates are terrible, to say that, and that's being nice. They just got rid of Josh Bell, one of their only productive bats, and now he's out in Washington, which does not help their case at all. Sure, they have players like Brian Reynolds, Newman. Newman's not too bad either, but this roster is tough. I mean, we've seen what Chris Archer has done over there in Pittsburgh and making the transition there, and he's just been a poop fest. I mean, he has just stunk it up over there in Pittsburgh, and he's still considered like a number 2 or a number 3 in this rotation. It's just there's no way they're going to compete. They are so far out from being a successful franchise that it's ridiculous. But this division really hurts me. It really does. As a Cardinal fan, this makes me sick. Like this division, it's just we were so competitive a couple years ago. The Cardinals, Cubs, and Pirates, those 3 teams in the middle had the top 3 records in baseball just a couple of years ago. And now this is like we may see a 500 team win this division. Like it's not great. But coming in at number 4, I'm going to go from an unbiased standpoint with the Chicago Cubs. I think the Chicago Cubs are making big mistakes here. They just got rid of Yu Darvish. Theo Epstein's no longer the GM, so now they're under new control there. Apparently there's things that they're shopping Chris Bryant, that they're shopping Wilson Contreras. They've lost John Lester. They've lost Yu Darvish. They just lost Schwarber to, again, the Nationals. Shout out Nationals, picking up all the NL Central scraps. It's just they've lost so much. They really have, and I think they're going to keep losing more. I think Javier Baez is one of, if not the most overrated player in the MLB right now. You make a couple of cool no-look tags, and all of a sudden you're amazing, and that's just not the case when you're still striking out 1 out of every 3 at-bats, sometimes 1 out of every 2. He's just not effective. The only thing I like about this team is Anthony Rizzo. I feel so bad that he's a Cub because I want to like him and I just can't. But number 3, I'm going with Milwaukee. Milwaukee is another team that just seems to keep falling short. They don't have a pitching staff at all, other than their 2 best pitchers are in the bullpen. But here's the problem: when you're losing by 9 by the time they step on the mound, it's kind of an issue. They have Christian Yelich, who played abysmal last season. I want to say just batted over like 230. Shout out to a reigning MVP for that guy. Great Cardinal killer, I'll give him that. But other than that, really kind of just a dud last season. Other than that, there's no names in their lineup that really get me excited. Keston Hiura is hit or miss. Locane is hit or miss. Ryan Braun, we don't even know if he's on the team right now. He's currently in free agency. They still don't have any pitching whenever it comes to the starting standpoint. It's just not great. Number 2, I'm going with the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't think we're going to win this division. I really don't. I think we are a bit out of it. Right now, we're missing Wainwright. We're missing Yachty. We're missing the core of this team, the team that really held this team together. The veteran leaders that have been here since 2004. They've been together literally their entire careers. And then we cut Colton Wong, who's arguably one of the better second basemen in the league. John Mozeliak is just – he's pooping the bed. He really is. For lack of a better terms, he is pooping the bed. He is just doing so many things wrong, and everybody on Twitter, everybody in Cardinals universe is sitting here asking for his head. If he doesn't sign Yachty, you best believe that we are not going to be happy about that. You don't let the franchise player go. I would rather sign Yachty and sign Wainwright and bite the bullet on a bad season than have a good season and not re-sign him. Like, I really would. At the end of the day, both of those guys should be Cardinals forever. They've been Cardinals forever. Why are you going to taint with it now? But it's so bad. Number 1, I'm going with Cincinnati. Cincinnati is honestly, they let me down last year, and they shouldn't have been as bad as they were. And I'm kind of betting on them to perform better, even without Trevor Bauer, or maybe they re-sign Trevor Bauer. There's no telling. Currently he's a free agent, so I can't make that prediction off of that. But right now they still have the best pitching staff between Sonny Gray and Luis Castillo. They still have some of the best hitters in Nick Castellanos and Eugenio Suarez. Joey Votto, still a great bat, even though he gets walked every other plate appearance. But this team is still very good, and they need to piece it together. And if they can figure out a way to piece it together, they should have this division on lock. They really should. There's no really clear favorite in this division, I don't think. People can say the Cubs, but I think the Cubs are they're just shooting themselves in the foot right now. People say the Cardinals are always involved, and we are, but we've got a lot going on right now. The Brewers have nothing. The Pirates are the Pirates, and it's just this division's not honestly going to be fun to watch. But I'm going to go with the Reds in a close one. I don't think they're going to have any record that's going to blow anybody away, and I think the Cardinals would fight for that divisional spot, but they're ultimately going to come up short. So there you go.
All right, Will, thank you for that. You know what, though? I agree with you when we look at the NL Central. It was kind of hard to piece this thing together but truly, I think we all probably have the same agreement that we probably all have the Reds finishing number 1. I don't know how you could have any other team in the Central finishing number 1, unless you're a Cubs fan. If you're a Cubs fan, you probably think that they have enough, but I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it because it's like you said, we don't know what's going to happen with Chris Bryant. He could be traded any time. Now, the big thing is, what about Rizzo?
He can't carry a team.
No. My question is with Anthony Rizzo, though, because we're talking about that Chris Bryant could be traded. Well, if Chris Bryant goes, could Anthony Rizzo go? Maybe.
Nobody's safe on that roster.
Correct, because the Cubs could be looking at this now going, you know what? It could be a rebuild mode. Because,
this guy.
Yeah, he's saying Cubs easy.
Cubs fan right there.
So Will, I do want to say that we did have a comment on the side to where Madison said that she would be shocked if you ever put the Cubs ahead of the Cardinals.
I mean, I can admit when the getting's good for my rivals. I mean, I understand when I should rephrase that. I understand when my team's bad. I'm definitely more of a when my team's kind of bad. But really, other than those guys, Yachty, Wainwright, and Wong. Yes, Wong's a big loss, but like you could find a way to work out Wainwright. You know, Yachty's the veteran leader. He's like the voice of the locker room, so that's going to be awkward. But everybody always steps up. The Cardinals just always find that stupid way to always do it. Like, when was the last time you remember the Cardinals not being in the playoff push, or at least fighting for the division? You know, it's.
I told you that last week, though. I said the Cardinals are one of those teams that
we're
potentially
annoying.
somehow they always get in there. And so that's why, as an Atlanta Braves fan, I'll be honest with you and say I never want to play the Cardinals in the playoffs because they're like one of our kryptonite. It's the freaking Cardinals or the Dodgers that is like our biggest kryptonite in the playoffs, and I hate it. Now, the other thing I did agree with you on is I did have the Padres at not the Padres, I meant the Pirates. I had the Pirates at number 5 because this is a complete mess of a team. When you look at the Pirates, they have gone way down. And it didn't even take very long. They were competitive, and then boom, that team was blown up, and they were gone. Their best pitcher is Jameson Taillon, which
he's Canadian. Yeah, pronounce that right.
Canadian. You see, there's so much of a mess on that team. And just like you said, Josh Bell, he's no longer there.
Hold up, before you go, Nate, I'm tired of you being the guy behind the scenes throwing up your own comments. Get that gross comment out of here. That's not true.
So Brandon also says that he likes the Brewers over the Cubs, but no, because I actually had the Brewers at number 4. I just don't think that they have. I don't trust their pitching. Ryan Braun was a favorite of mine for a while, and then once he got caught for the PED and stuff, I'm like, how long have you been doing it for? It was a question mark for me. So I kind of lost some respect for Ryan Braun. But this Brewers team, they're on a decline. And then number 3, number 3, it was hard. It was hard, Will, and you might hate me for this, but I actually put the Cardinals at number 3. I know I had to. I put the Cardinals at 3, but I did put the Cubs at number 2. And then obviously number 1, I had the Cincinnati Reds because I think the Cincinnati Reds have the most talent in the NL Central. Pitching-wise, I'm hoping that if we don't get Trevor Bauer, which I don't think we possibly will, I don't see it happening. I'm sorry, Vic. It's not going to happen. As much as you want us to get up, we're not going to do it. So I would honestly like to see him go back to Cincinnati because with Trevor Bauer and that rotation, they had a killer rotation with Trevor Bauer and Sonny Gray and Luis Castillo. How could you not? Like, that is an awesome big 3 right there. I call them the big 3. I love it. All right. So, J-Mac, go ahead and give me your top 5.
Well, I think we can all agree that I'm going with the Pirates at number 5. Anyone else disagree with that?
No.
No. Okay, just checking. Just checking to make sure. Yeah.
Maybe if I was feeling a little bit more spunky, I would, but I'm all right today.
Yeah. And then, the rest are kind of hard, but I think the Cubs are on the decline, so number 4 for them. I don't think that they're going to be above number 4. And then 3 through 1, man, it's going to be a race. I also have the Cardinals at 3, though, and I don't think Will's going to like that. But I think it's true. I think the Cardinals are at 3.
Wait.
Brewers at 2.
Brewers at 2?
What?
Yeah, Brewers at 2.
The Reds. You said the Cubs at 4, and then you said what? Okay. Anyway, Reds at 1. Yeah.
Reds at 1. Just saying.
So J-Mac, I have to know, like, this is bugging me now that you put the Brewers at number 2. Why would you even put the Milwaukee Brewers in? What would possess you to think that the Brewers could finish second in the NL Central?
Can never root for the Cardinals.
It's definitely not
number one reason.
I can tell you that.
Oh, well, I can't root for the Cardinals, so there's one. I don't want to see them in the playoffs, so I can't have them finish in the top 2 to make the playoffs. Cubs are on the decline, and the Pirates suck. So I guess there's your 3 answers.
Don't worry, we wouldn't. The second place in this division is not going to the playoffs.
If you get second
place in this division's barely going to the playoffs, right? Like only because of technicality. I can.
No, if they play a full 162 games, the Reds win 90.
Get Nate out of here.
No, the Reds. If any team runs away with the Central, it will be the Reds. If Reds runs away with it, it will be the Reds. And that's if they get Trevor Bauer back. If Trevor Bauer re-signs with the Reds have the potential to run away with this division.
What are you going to do when we sign Trevor Bauer?
You know what? If
he's not going to the Cardinals,
come out and sign Trevor Bauer, I am like I'm done with the Central, man. And I will put the Cardinals at the bottom of my list every year from here on out if they get Trevor Bauer, because I'm getting sick of the Cardinals, to be quite honest.
You want a hot take from all this? The Pirates will struggle to have the fewest wins, to get over that fewest wins mark in Major League history.
Oh, no, I'm right there with you. I think
they will win 30. They'll win 39, 40 games this year.
Wow. Okay. That's a low number. I was going to say easily last place in baseball by far, but
the interesting thing about the Pirates is even if they make a trade for I'm saying even if they go out and they make a trade for a decent player, the player might last maybe a half a season, and then the Pirates go, we're done with them. We're going to ship them off. And then they ship them off, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're not even giving your chance to build a team, because they have Josh Bell. He's gone. Andrew McCutchen, he's gone. Anybody they had good, they're like, let's
in
go.
their defense, though, McCutchen was there for years.
But still, when they're your franchise guys, you got to sign them. I mean,
well, to be fair, Josh Bell was only there for a few years, and they just said goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
And he was their best player.
For a bag of balls.
Yeah.
And Victor
not for much. They didn't it's insane. I don't know. You between the Pirates and you get the other teams that do the fire sales, you're like, what are you guys doing? I don't understand. It's crazy. But the Pirates, they'll struggle to win 40 games this year.
So
the Reds will win 90. The Cardinals might win 75.
Oh, come on. Woo. You're disgusting.
So, J-Mac, are you saying that the Pirates are going to be the worst team in baseball? Not just in the Central, but in baseball?
Oh, yes. Yes. So if you look at the players on their team right now, and I don't remember his first name, but his last name is Moran. It's Moran.
Colin Moran.
Yeah, it's Colin Moran.
There it is. Colin, yeah. In the last season we saw 162 games was 2019. He was their leading home run guy that year, and he hit 17 home runs.
Josh Bell had a bad year. Yeah.
Josh Bell, well, he was hurt. He was hurt most of that season. But my point is, him in the lineup every day was their top home run guy with 17 home runs. That's without Josh Bell. That's what they have left. That's my point. That's what they have left. A guy to hit 17 home runs in the lineup.
All right. And then, of course, Vic, we want to hear what you have to say about the NL Central.
Well, that took long enough. Basically, I don't got a lot to say. Number 5, Pittsburgh. I mean, seriously, they got nobody. I don't think I can name a player on their team right now. Number 4. I'm going to go with Milwaukee. Because basically they got, like Will said, no pitching whatsoever. They got, Christian Yelich is your lone offensive weapon at the moment. and he can't carry a team without a little bit of help. I mean, Locaine, he's a good center fielder, but he's losing some, he's losing a little bit. Number 3, Shane Lewis is going to be number 3 because, well, I don't like him, so I'm putting him at 3.
I love this whole non-biased sports network thing we got going on here. Anyway, number 2.
Anyway, I could have put him at 5, Will, but I really hated him.
You can't.
I gave him benefit of the doubt they're gonna win 70 games. Number 2, Chicago Cubs. They still got Kyle Hendricks on the mound. Not that he's a superstar or anything. But, I mean, they've been known to spark at certain times. I mean, Javi Baez, I do think he's really underrated. His defense is what's keeping him viable. That's about it. Hopefully, Rizzo and Bryant. I don't know. I'd like to see Bryant traded to, maybe, I don't know, the Braves or something. But that's just my opinion. And then number 1, Cincinnati. Because you got, Joey Votto is just a stud over there at first base. I think they re-signed Trevor Bauer now that the markets, people are starting to get traded and sign places. Sonny Gray, Sonny Gray, who's not as dominant as he once was in Oakland, but he's pretty solid defensive pitcher. But they're going to get knocked out in the first round because the whole NL Central sucks.
Yeah, we do.
Well, looks like that's what you have to say. And before we jump on to our next topic, I don't know if you guys happen to see today that the Yankees are actually in talks with Marcelo Zuna. So
are the Dodgers.
I saw that the Mets are looking at DJ LeMahieu because the Yankees aren't showing any interest in him.
Correct. Okay. So our next topic of the night is actually J-Mac Spotlight Player. So J-Mac, who do you got tonight for us?
Who do I got tonight? Well,
look at that handsome face.
I have a guy who played for 8 major league teams. And he played for 25 years in Major League Baseball. He has a few records as far as the oldest to do things. At the time of his final game, he was the oldest player in Major League. In the Major Leagues, that he had the most. He was the oldest to win a game. He's linked to Phil Niekro. Rest in peace, Phil Niekro. Because of the longevity of their careers. And he's the oldest pitcher to drive in a run. So he's the oldest one with a run batted in his career. Let's see, how old was he when he did that? So
can I take a shot at this?
Hang on 1 second. I'll give you a shot. He would have been 49 when he drove in his run.
Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah.
Wait.
So we're talking about
49?
So we're talking about
8 years ago.
Okay.
So
8 years ago.
Yep. And it is a pitcher. He holds the major league record for the most home runs allowed all time with 522.
Oh, that did it for me. I know who it is now.
Well, he is one of only 29 players to have appeared in 4 decades.
Yep.
And by the way, this stat is mind-blowing. This is the last one. If those weren't, this last one is mind-boggling to me. When he retired, he was said that he has faced the most percentage of players to ever play in Major League Baseball. He has faced 9% of every player to ever play in the major leagues. He played for your St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, he did.
And the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah,
but his best years were the 11 years that he played for the Seattle Mariners. And when he was 145 and 87 with the Mariners. Anyone know who this player is?
So are we talking? So if I had to take a guess, I would say it could be Jamie Moyer. Yeah.
And you would be correct on that first
Jamie
guess.
Moyer.
Jamie Moyer. And just as so we talk about teams. We've talked about teams before that were loaded. Think about the 1998 Seattle Mariners team. Now, Jamie Moyer in 1998 was the ace of that staff, right? So in 1998, he went 15-9. Not a great win-loss record. 1997, he was 17-5. But he went 15-9. He had the highest strikeout total of his career. He had 234 and a third innings. Could you imagine a pitcher pitching that many innings today? Like, that's crazy. That wouldn't even he walked 2 or few batters in 29 of his 32 starts that year. Think about that. That's nuts. And that 1998 team for Seattle, that was the team that won 116 games, 116 and 46, I believe, in 1998. And think of the team that they had. They had Griffey Jr., they had Randy Johnson, Jamie Moyer, Edgar Martinez, Jay Buhner. Help me out if I'm missing anybody. But the team that they had, and then they lost in the divisional series to the Yankees. And the Yankees, I believe, beat them 3-1 after winning 116 games and with that lineup. So hats off to Jamie Moyer. 25 seasons. He was 49 when he drove in a run. I'm hoping I don't have a cane at 49 years old. I can't imagine going up and hitting a major league pitch and driving in a run. That's insane.
Jamie Moyer.
That's
Once
it.
you said 522, that was a giveaway.
522 career home runs he gave up in his career. That's crazy.
When you pitch for 45 years, I mean, the long ball's going to happen. And he pitched in Colorado, at least for that last year. I know he did. But
Yes, he did.
And he pitched for the Phillies.
Yep.
So gross. What a guy. I remember watching him the age of like 14, and I was like, this guy could be my granddad. How is he on the mound right now? And how is he throwing strikes? I was just like, I was blown away. Jamie Moyer, great name. Great name. Definitely needs a spotlight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi, Vic.
Hi.
You back?
What?
All right.
You left. Did you not?
Yeah, she
Okay.
appeared for a second.
What?
She's back. So.
It's okay.
I
You're
didn't
here
go
now.
anywhere.
You did
I didn't
great.
go anywhere.
All right. So our next topic of the night after J-Mac Spotlight Player is we're going to talk about who we believe is going to be the surprise team in the NHL. But before we do that, I want to get your guys' thoughts on, do you guys like the way that they set up the divisions this year based upon because they're not allowing teams to go into Canada and play, so they have to bring them all to the US and play? Do you like how they broke up the division? What's your guys' thoughts on that? And J-Mac, I'll go ahead and start with you on that one.
Well, let me say that let me start off by saying that the NHL is ahead of the game in a lot of ways for a professional sports league. The one thing I think they should do is get a team in Mexico, and then we could quite literally have, a champion that is over 3 different countries. But we always call them the world champion, and they always play in America. I don't understand. But I will say that I do like it. I like the way that they set up the Canada-only division in the North. They called it the North Division, but they might as well call it Canada. The West always perplexed me. Like, I don't understand when they set up Western teams, and I get that whatever geographically it makes sense, but man, you have teams, you have Minnesota playing in the West. And yeah, what other team are you going to put in there? I get that, but
I can answer that question for you. You can put Dallas in the West and move St. Louis to the Central.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
St.
you
Louis
could do that. Yeah, you know what? And seeing it now, I didn't see St. Louis, but yeah, you could move Dallas to the West. I think it's more West than St. Louis or Minnesota is. I mean, it always perplexes me when you put Dallas in a Central or an Eastern. Like, what are you doing? But geographically, it works. I'm excited to see some of the matchups this year, though. I really am. And stay tuned for more information on the NHL show that we'll have on the ASAP network. Tim Fielder is going to change all with the Kraken next year. Get out of here with that. That won't matter. Right. They set up the year before the Seattle Kraken. Yeah, we know, Nate. That's why we're not talking about them. Anyway, the weirdest of all of the NHL teams to me is two. There's two teams that are the weirdest. And Will, don't take offense to this. I'll explain my answer. Tampa Bay and Arizona. Because when I think ice hockey, Florida and Arizona are not two places I think about playing ice hockey in. I'm just saying.
Or Vegas.
So, I mean, then there's Florida Panthers too.
Yeah,
so
right.
it kind of makes sense. But I'll just say that Tampa Bay is still the best team in the league. I don't think anyone's beaten them this year. Dallas will give them a run for their money again. But just like last year, they're not going to beat them in the end. Then you got my personal favorite, the Detroit Red Wings. And, well, we were good for a lot of years, but, we're just poop now. So
hey, we're in rebuild mode.
Don't come and talk about my Lightning when you're a Red Wings fan, okay?
Hey,
rebuilding is rebuilding, but it's kind of like the Pistons. When you've been rebuilding for 12 years now.
All right, I got to go now. That was ridiculous.
At what point are we rebuilt?
Right. At what point are we rebuilding? At what point do we just suck? So
trust the process.
Right now,
but in the end, I think it was a good move. I think putting all the Canada teams in one division, it'll be good for the NHL this year, and I'm excited. The first game was tonight, actually, and to kick off the year, and so I'm excited for the season to start.
All right. So with that, you know what? With this one, I'll go ahead and I'll start with the Vic on this one. So Vic, go ahead and tell me, what NHL team do you think will be a surprise?
Well, I took a very, very skilled direction in determining this answer. This screen popped up, and I did this. And I selected the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. That's probably the worst answer you could have given.
That's just where my finger landed. I can't help it.
Whew.
Right?
F.
I mean, it's not
no
my
analysis,
fault.
just that. Okay.
No, I have analysis.
Would you like a respin?
Who's going to be their goalie? They have to figure that out. I did research after I picked. It's going to be a long year. We know that. Defense is bad. The roster itself is thin. Their goaltending is god-awful. But it's 2021. It's crazy out there. You never know. It could be like Mighty Ducks Part 4. So for instance, Chicago. And it's the Blackhawks.
Yeah. Tim's asked. Yeah. Just so you're aware, you're already not off to a good start because Tampa Bay destroyed Chicago tonight.
Yeah, we did.
First game of the season. They're a little rusty.
A little rusty. 5-1. Yeah. A little rusty.
So
I took a very intelligent direction at picking this team. You got it?
that's rough.
It was the magical like that. And I picked him again.
Saying, like, their goalkeeper couldn't stop Swiss cheese at this point.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
They're rebuilding.
At what point do they suck?
Next year. Next year.
They're rebuilding.
Rough.
They are rebuilding.
Rough. All right. So next we'll go to Mr. Will Polston on this one. So Will, go ahead and tell me, what do you think?
Oh, man. Shout out my boys raising the banner tonight. Shout out to you guys getting a 5-1 dub. The only goal that went in on Vossi was shout out in the best Chicago style ever, a double doink off of two different Tampa Bay Lightning players' skates. Shout out to that. That's your only goal. So
Yeah, we didn't get shut out.
double doink in favor of Chicago. Too bad you still lost 5-1. But other than that, I mean, I got to shout out my boys. My boys are still going to be up there. Tampa Bay's you lose Nikita Kucherov, the reigning MVP, and yet this team is still up there for one of the best teams in the NHL. They're young, they're quick. I mean, but they're not a surprise.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. They're not a surprise team.
Nobody is going to be surprised if they do well. And so whenever I'm looking at it, the most stacked division to me is the West. And so I think a team that's going to come out and do very well this season and bounce back is St. Louis. I think the St. Louis Blues are going to do phenomenal this season. And I think it's nice. I am so irritated that St. Louis got moved to the West away from the Central, because they're not a West team. Sure, St. Louis is the gateway to the West, but come on, Dallas is more West on the map. We all know this. But also, they've separated the Blues and the Blackhawks, who is one of the oldest hockey rivalries in history, and you're only playing teams from your division this year. So that irks me a little bit, but they're very top heavy. When you're looking at the West, the Colorado is going to be amazing. Vegas is going to be great. And Vegas and Colorado are actually number 1 and number 2 right now in Vegas voting odds for winning the Stanley Cup. Colorado at number 1, Vegas at number 2, Tampa Bay at number 3 after losing Nikita Kucherov. But whenever I'm looking at the rest of this division, San Jose's got a lot of question marks. Los Angeles is bad. Arizona is bad, to say the least. Anaheim's like the annoying team out of there. Minnesota could also be an annoying team. But St. Louis, with the addition of Torrey Krug, I think that it adds a lot to their defense. I think they're going to take the next step. I think Jordan Bennington had a bad season last year, and they need a little bit of a bounce back. I don't know if a lot of people are looking at St. Louis to play well. I mean, you got to keep in mind the year they won the Stanley Cup, at the midway point in the season, they had the worst record in the NHL. So they are always they can never be counted out. You know, and it's similar with the Washington Nationals when they won the World Series. You know, they were one of the worst teams after 50 games, only having 19 wins. You know, so I mean, it goes across all sports. If you don't get off to a hot start, you know, there's always room. You know, it's a long season, but St. Louis is already looking great tonight against Colorado. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Nate had said that they were up 4-1 already. And Colorado is a team to beat out in the West, and by far, they're just like the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're young, they're quick, they're electric. They're so fun to watch. They were a little bit of a dud in the playoffs last year, but a lot of them haven't been there before. So I'll give them a little bit of credit. They should have gone a lot farther than they did. Honestly, it should have been a Colorado-Tampa Bay Stanley Cup. But whenever it just didn't work out like that. I think St. Louis has the veteran leadership. I think they've been around long enough. I think they're going to find a way, and I think they're going to shock some teams out there in that Western Division.
All right. So, let's see. I went Vic, Will. All right, J-Mac, go ahead and give me yours. Mine's going to be Detroit. All right, go ahead, J-Mac. I'm just kidding. I'm not taking Detroit.
Like Zing, you can't pick them. I did.
Man, I mean, it's tough because it's a different year. Like Will said, you're only playing your divisional opponents. You're not playing anyone outside your division. And that's going to set up – actually, there's some teams in the West that won't make the playoffs because of that, when they actually all probably could make the playoffs, as good as all of them are. I'm going to go in the Central, though. Tampa Bay is going to run that division, and it's not even going to be close, in my opinion. But I think a team that's going to surprise you is the Columbus Blue Jackets. You can all laugh. It's fine. It is what it is. I just got a feeling. I can't put my finger on what that feeling is. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea. But they actually played really well in power play last year, which is not as big of a stat for some people as it should be. But they actually did really well last year in the power play, which is when you can take an advantage. And their second line, I think, is a little superior to everyone in that division except the Tampa Bay Lightning. Because to me, Tampa Bay Lightning, their second line could probably start for most teams in hockey. So, yeah, I know Will's not going to disagree with me on that, but I think Columbus has just that second line is going to push them above. Chicago's a mess. Carolina, they're okay. Dallas, of course, is going to be right there, and I gotta hate Dallas being in the Central. That sucks so bad. I actually feel bad for Tampa Bay on that one. But
I don't feel bad for nothing.
Detroit, man, as much of a Detroit homer as I am, oh God, we're gonna struggle so bad. We have to play Dallas and Tampa Bay a bunch of times this year. That just kill me now. It's gonna be so bad. The Florida Panthers, they're really nothing. Nashville Predators are an interesting team as well. So don't count them out. But I'll go with the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Columbus Blue Jackets. Were you guys surprised that he went with the Columbus Blue Jackets?
No. I mean, they're a good team. They're honestly a good team. They gave the Lightning fits last year. I mean, they gave the Lightning even more fits the year before. That's why I gave you that weird look. Not a big fan of Columbus, just for personal reasons. But yeah, they are a good team. They're very good. Seth Jones, one of the better defensemen in the league, very underrated. Just finding out what their goalie play is going to be, and then they should be good from there.
Somebody's coming on here and bashing on the Detroit Red Wings. That's
dead last.
But, hey,
Chicago's on a nice run for dead last too. They're going to be y'all are going to be fighting each other.
A little respect on Detroit's name. We're not going to finish last. Why? We're not going to finish last.
Hey, bro, I hate to break it to you. Like, I'm a Detroit homer, man, but I can't even.
I'm not putting them at number one. I'm not putting them at number one, but I'm saying we're
ridiculous.
We're not going to finish last.
How can you even put them at number 7?
Huh?
How can you put them 7th in the division? Who are they going to beat?
Oh, let's give it a rundown here. Well,
I mean,
no, hold on. Chicago.
There you go. You're going to be the second to worst team in the
All right.
NHL.
Thank you. Titletown no more. Hey, yeah, Titletown no more. All right. So for me, I'm not going to be a homer, and I'm not going to go with the Detroit Red Wings because we all know that's just not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But I actually went over to the north. And any guesses on who I might have picked in the north side?
Oh, man, please don't tell me.
Edmonton.
Vancouver.
No. Vancouver. The Vancouver Canucks.
I'm a psychic.
Good. At least it wasn't what I was thinking.
Because when you look at the way that they had in training camp, so when you think about the two big names that they were talking about that really looked good so far was Horvat, and then besides Horvat, Demko was not the starting goalie right now, but he was competing for the starting spot. And here's why I like Demko a lot, because Demko actually went out. He actually lost a lot of weight, and he actually practiced getting a faster glove. And I'll tell you what does a goalie have to have? What's one key thing that a goalie has to have?
Chicken.
Chicken?
I agree. You can definitely use some chicken for protein purposes, really build up.
Yeah, keep their energy up.
I think that's always her answer for everything, chicken. I'll go back and look at that, but I'm pretty sure when you ask her what someone has to have, her answer is chicken.
I love chicken.
Yeah,
it's the one thing that tastes good right now.
So what were you getting to? What's
yeah?
She got me all jumbled up because she was talking about chicken, and she got me all hungry. But I'm talking about, as a goalie, you have to have a fast glove. You have to. A fast glove is one of the biggest things you have to have. So I like that Enco went out and did that, but it disappointed me that he did not get the starting position. However, let me tell you this. Did you guys see tonight that they won? They won 5-3. 5-3.
No. Who'd they play?
Hey. We don't knock.
Detroit?
Knock on.
Who'd they play?
Detroit doesn't play until tomorrow, just to tell you.
Oh, well, I don't follow Detroit, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah? You should follow them because because we're
Did
going to
they
be
eat
that.
a lot of chicken?
And yeah, we played Edmonton Oilers. So I'm telling you, we're going to be a surprise team. Don't forget about Holtby. He's out there. So these two have looked the best in training camp. Hey, don't shake your head at me.
It's just all right.
I would never.
Not me.
Oh, is you? All right, you're getting yelled at now.
Oh,
No.
okay.
But before we go too far into detail, I want to obviously play one of my mini games, but this mini game is going to take a little bit, so that's why I'm trying to cut this one short because this mini game is going to take a little bit. So go on to the next slide. Man, you just had to have that picture up there.
I love that picture.
That's the new thing because when we play Aces mini games, we have fun.
That's right. Fun. Mini game
Favorite
fun.
word of the day.
I think you should wear a jacket and a bow tie with a Packers beanie every time we play this game.
And hold a piece of chicken in your hand.
Yeah. Why not?
Like a chicken leg.
All right, so I don't know. These guys are just giving me a lot of ideas here.
I know. Please don't take any of this seriously. At least not what I'm saying, please.
I won't. Don't worry. I'm not.
But take the chicken seriously.
Don't worry. I won't. All right. So, see, who am I going to go first? Because today the mini game that we're going to play is we're going to actually play a little bit of NFL trivia.
Ooh.
Yes. And when I say NFL trivia, I'm not talking about when it comes to J-Mac. I'm not going to be like, J-Mac, you got to answer a question about the Packers. Will, you have to answer a question about – no. This is just all around NFL trivia questions. So this could legitimately come from anywhere. And I'm going to go ahead and the first question, you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll start with a Vic on this one.
Oh, no. Okay, go.
All right. So, Vic, your question is, what is a nickname is DeAndre Hopkins known by?
What nickname is DeAndre Hopkins known by?
Yes. What nickname is DeAndre Hopkins known by?
Is this like a known nickname or is it like a secret nickname from his work?
It is a very known nickname.
Nuke.
Yeah, you got it. I have to know, did you look that up?
No.
No. All right.
I just want to know if it was the one that nickname I have for him or the one everybody else has for him.
What did you have?
More on these developments at 11.
What did
Chicken
you
Man.
have for him?
Oh, God, not this again.
Chicken Man. Oh, Lord.
All right. This question comes to Mr. Will Polston.
Okay.
Who was fired as head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars in November of 2011?
Hold up.
Oh, I know who that was.
The nickname of DeAndre Hopkins is actually a Jaguars question from 2011.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Tom Coughlin?
No. J-Mac, you want to take a guess at this?
I believe it was, 2011. Oh, would it have been Dom Capers?
No. So 2000. Vic, do you have a guess or not? Unless you looked it up. If you looked it up,
I did not. I'm
Okay.
doing my insurance stuff. I'm multitasking.
okay. Do you have a guess?
I have a guess.
Okay.
Jack Del Rio.
And that would be the correct answer, Jack Del Rio.
That was the
I pay
second one.
attention to stuff, people. I pay attention.
I just didn't think it had been that long ago. That's why I didn't pick Del Rio. But that makes sense.
Forever ago.
All right. And J-Mac's going to love
Is
this one.
J-Mac going to get, like, what jersey number does Aaron Rodgers wear? Like,
All right. So, J-Mac, this question for you. Who defeated the Cowboys 16-8 in their opening game for the 2018 NFL season?
2018? 16-8.
Was it preseason or regular season?
Regular season.
2018.
So Nate's saying that's easy, but I want to know if he's backstage, like looking this crap up or something.
Can I give him a hint?
No,
I know the answer without a hint.
Oh, you do know the answer, Will. Okay.
Yeah, you said it was for feedback, so I was waiting.
No, I'll say Washington football team. They were the Washington Redskins then.
No.
I'm going to say it's a divisional opponent, but.
All right, Will?
I know this because it's the theme of our quarterbacks list today. It's the Carolina Panthers.
Correct. It is the Carolina Panthers. All right.
Terrible game.
Terrible game. Lots
A
of
terrible
safeties. 8 safeties.
Let's see. So, all right, 8 safeties. All right, Vic, this question is for you.
I love questions for me.
Where did 2017 NFL first-round draft pick Myles Garrett play college football?
Are you just messing with me right now? Are you giving me easy ones for fun?
No.
Yeah, like what?
Right. What game was the season opener for Dallas 2 years ago? What coach got fired a decade ago? What college did the number 1 overall pick go to?
Jeez, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna just pull it out of a hat. I'm gonna go Texas A&M.
Oh my goodness!
Good Lord!
Hey, come on now.
Come on,
I agree
man.
with Matthew Perry. What's with the difficulty being different for people?
Hey, it's right. It's the difficulty.
Oh, I bet it is.
Hey,
Questions on rookie mode, I see.
Okay, do you want an easy question, Will? Do you want an easy question?
No. Keep
Okay.
it coming. If you're going to be biased, I'm going to be biased myself.
I won't
I've
be
answered hard questions too.
When?
Uh,
Okay.
Jacksonville
All right.
Jaguars head coach. You didn't get it. I got it.
Whatever. You had 3 guesses to find the answer. All right. What?
I didn't find the answer.
That's awesome. What's my question?
All right.
What brand of helmet did Bart Starr wear whenever he was quarterback?
No. The 2013
God. Can I give one of the last 5 years, unlike everybody else?
Listen. You'll know this one. The 2013 NFC Championship game was aired on what network?
Why would I know this? Fox?
Yeah, you got it right.
Where all the other NFC games are. I mean, been on Fox for the last who knows how long. Okay.
All right, maybe I'll make it a little bit difficult. You know what? I'm gonna make this one difficult for J-Mac. I want to see how far he can go back. Okay. Prior to arriving in St. Louis in 1960.
There you go.
What the?
He's mad at you for something.
Rams.
No. I'm trying to go back a little bit in history here to make it a little bit more difficult. But prior to arriving in St. Louis in 1960, in what city did the Cardinals play their home games?
Oh, Chicago.
There you go. See? That wasn't so hard, was it?
You.
Look at you.
Hey,
They're the oldest team in the league.
little
And
cutie.
So, you know,
All right.
you follow
right.
their story.
All right, Vic, this comes to you now.
Oh, I love it.
It'll be like who was the quarterback for the Chargers before Justin Herbert or something.
Yeah. Name every quarterback in reverse chronological order for the Cleveland Browns over the last decade.
By combination of receiving, rushing, and returning, who was the first Broncos player to cross the end zone over 70 times?
Who's this for? That's for Vic?
This is for Vic.
Where'd you pull that question out of? My list? Yeah, Lord.
You said rushing, receiving, and special teams?
Returning.
Rushing and returning. Who was the first Broncos player to cross the end zone over 70 times?
Oh, good Lord.
Is like in my lifetime?
No. There's no way.
Nate doesn't even know this one. Look at him just sitting back there.
Yeah, dead quiet in the comments.
Right? Like nothing. There's nothing going on.
He's not a quick typer. Oh, God.
This one was a little bit more tougher. There you go.
Smith?
Is that just a last name you can think of?
Red. It starts with an R.
It's
Can't remember.
Rod.
Rod Smith.
There you go.
You know what? That is correct. It's Rod Smith.
By the way, Rod Smith was undrafted.
Yes, he was on draft.
Wow.
He scored 71 touchdowns, 68 receiving, 1 rushing, and 2 by returns.
What?
Yeah.
You said 60, then 1, then 2. That is 63 touchdowns. You
No,
said
I
70.
68.
68.
Oh, okay. You must have jumped out on mine because I did not hear 68.
No, it was 68.
I was like, sick question, Ace.
Well, I'll say this, Matthew Perry.
Someone
You said Shannon Sharp. The only problem is Shannon Sharp was a tight end before tight ends were cool, so they didn't throw to him as much back then.
fair.
All right.
Hall of Famer.
Yes, these questions are going to be a little bit more tougher because you guys thought the other questions were easier.
Way
Oh,
to go, guys. Way to
it's
go.
not who was the Bears quarterback that they took at pick 2 and traded up a spot?
No, absolutely not. So what
kicker?
Chiefs head coach played quarterback and graduated from San Jose State?
What?
Who's
Who's
the head
what?
coach that played
Chiefs.
quarterback?
What Chiefs head coach?
Former Chiefs head coach graduated from San Diego State?
San Jose
Jose.
State.
Oh,
And
okay. Sorry.
You know,
That made it
wait
clear
for San
for me.
Jose.
That helped a whole bunch.
Thanks. God.
and played quarterback.
Who knows a coach for the Chiefs other than Andy Reid?
Marty Shaw.
Oh, I do.
But that's,
I do.
That's bad.
I do. I do.
Vic does.
Oh, I actually.
I don't know if
might
it's right,
know.
but I know another head coach for the Chiefs.
I have no idea. I'm not even going to take a stab at it. Not
All
a
right. Vic, you want to try?
He's more famously known for the Eagles, but also Mr. Dick Vermeil was a coach for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And you know what?
Yeah.
That is the correct answer.
Yep.
That's the only other coach I know for the Kansas City Chiefs.
But he's known for the Rams too.
True.
Greatest
Oh,
show
what?
on turf.
What guy head coached for 6 games with the Kansas City Chiefs and now all of a sudden is known as a Chiefs coach? Yeah, whatever. Get that out of here.
I knew 2 coaches for Kansas City, and he was the other one.
Get that out of here.
You get that out of here.
All right. Let me see.
Everybody keep in mind I'm 22 years old, okay? Let's not think I'm some historian over here.
No. That's why this is just about fun here, man. So
Yeah,
it's
we're
just-
having fun. Look at the thing. Fun.
Fun.
All right, this is for J-Mac. Who was Nick? All right, and I'll tell you, this player was from the Rams, okay? From the Rams.
Why'd you give him that?
LA or St. Louis?
Don't give him that. Don't you?
No, I'm not going to say it.
Don't
Who
you
was
dare.
who was nicknamed Shaq?
Shaq. O'Neal. Help it.
Shaq-tastic.
You said he played for the Rams?
Yes.
Is this going to be another one where like he may have played 1 season with the Rams,
Right.
and he's known for another team? Because I have a name, and if it is who I think it is, he's not known for the Rams.
No, I'll tell you, this person played a few years with.
He also didn't play for the Rams. Never mind. No,
Ozzie or Hakeem. I don't know.
who?
No, so the answer on this one was actually James Harris.
Yeah, good. Thanks. Next.
Yeah, that's because
What
cool.
punter?
What position did he play?
Yeah.
Since
Third
since
string
Vic,
backup left tackle.
since Vic is getting a lot of these hard ones right, I have to know.
You sure it wasn't Sack and not Shaq?
It was Shaq.
Not
It was
Sack.
Shaq. Okay.
It was.
Here you go, Vic. Who stopped Kevin Dyson, the Titans wide receiver, on
Come
the
on!
1 yard?
Why do we get these ones? You gotta be kidding me!
Who stopped? And I have to know if Vic is looking this up. I really have to know.
Kevin Dyson,
Yeah, who stopped him?
Stop him.
who made the tackle
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah,
in the Super Bowl 1 yard short.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For the Rams. What are you on, like a Ram kick? Are you
No,
like
it's
testing our knowledge on the St. Louis Rams right now? That was one of the most famous tackles in history.
Mhm.
I like it very much because I didn't like the Titans then either. I don't know.
All right, Will, you're raising your hand. Who was it?
Most generic name of all time, Mike Jones.
You got it. You got it.
Ever.
Ever.
I was actually surprised that Vic didn't get that then because, she's been answering a lot of the other ones. So I figured she'd probably
me
get
and J-Mac love Vic.
There's some things I don't know,
Some things, not much.
but there's a lot of things I do know.
Oh,
I'm the
yeah?
exact opposite. I know the big stuff.
the big stuff.
Yeah, what college did the 1945 Mr. Irrelevant go to? Yeah, that's probably my next
You
question.
know what? I'm going to ask you a Chicago Bears question, Will.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Rex
why
Grossman.
not?
do it. Rex Ryan.
No. How many Bears seasons begin with Hall of Famer George Halas as head coach?
Oh, God, how long was he the head coach? He was there for. How long was George Allen's the head coach? See, he was there for forever.
But forever has a number.
It does.
It's a pretty big number.
It is a big number. I'm going to just throw a stab out there and say like 23.
Now, is this just head coach or is this in the front office too?
This was head coach.
26.
No?
Can I throw a number out?
Yes, go ahead.
38.
Vic, you were close. The correct answer is actually 40.
Oh,
Good God.
He was
You know
there
that
for
would never happen in today's NFL?
No.
Yeah, that's
not-
why I couldn't. There was no way I was going any north of 30. And
I mean, a guy can win a Super Bowl 1 year, go 4-12 the next year, and he's fired. Like, you're not making it 40 years.
you can go 10-6, go to the NFC Championship game, and fire your coach the next week. Shout out Bears.
All right, J-Mac, in what city did the Washington football team, but then the Washington Redskins originally play?
Oh, man. They were
It looks like you know this.
Yeah, because they started out as like the Decanter Staleys or something like that, and so they played.
Ooh. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know where that's from, so I'll
They
say
were wicked bad.
Wicked bad.
yeah,
They were wicked bad.
wicked bad. I don't know the name of the city, but
Wicked. They were wicked bad.
Well, looks like you kind of had a
They were
little-
wicked bad like the Atlanta.
Did you have a guess there?
Who?
You. It looked like you had. When I
Oh.
first asked, it looked like you had kind of an idea.
Yeah, Boston.
That is correct. Boston is correct.
I had to figure it out. I knew it was somewhere up there. I couldn't figure out where.
All right, Vic. What year?
Ace.
What year saw the Cincinnati Bengals become part of the NFL?
Oh no.
2018.
All right, Vic's right again. Next question.
Now, where did the Bengals become part of the NFL? Or like part of football?
Part of the NFL.
Stupid, like they're even part of it
That's a
now.
trick question.
It is a trick question.
Because they were in the AFL.
Correct. Nate,
When
you're
did
close.
they join the NFL? When did they become cool? Sometime in the 60s, I'm gonna guess. The late 60s. I don't know.
I need a number.
Yeah.
You're right, but I need a number.
68. I don't know.
We'll say dang it because she got it right.
I was like, what? She's never going to get this. Yep. She just did.
Yeah, she got it. All right. Well, so the NFL began it all like they began it all in 1922. How many teams played in the inaugural NFL season?
Ooh. In the NFL season?
Well, in the inaugural season, yeah, like when they first.
Was it? See, original 6 was hockey. Was it 8?
No?
No. It couldn't have been 6. 6 is hockey. Original 6 is hockey, right?
Yeah, the original 6 was hockey.
Yeah, that's what they.
So, you got that. What's your answer, Will?
Yeah, if I went with 8. 8 was wrong.
Well, there's actually a lot of teams that were defunct after a couple of seasons. So a lot of stuff back then, like I said, like one was the Decanter Staleys, and then you had the Akron Pros and a bunch of other teams. I believe the actual number was 16 in the first season, but there's only like 6 or 8 of them that are still around.
You were close. It was actually 18. So you were really, really close. All right, so I'll ask J Mac a question, then we'll go one more round, and then we will call it. All right. Okay. What Illinois town did the Chicago Bears originally call home?
Oh, man.
So much.
Oh.
I don't know if he's going to get this, though, Will, so you might get a shot.
Oh, man. Because I hate the Bears so much. I should know this.
Oh.
Everything in me is saying Elgin, but I believe that that's not right.
It is not right. So his answer was Elgin. Will, I know you're sitting there wanting to answer this so bad, so go ahead.
Bourbonnier.
No.
What?
What?
Did you fact check that? Whatever you found that on?
Can I go?
Do you just not think that that's how it's pronounced?
No. No.
Okay.
It starts with a D.
Starts
It
with
ends
a D.
with an R.
It starts with a D. It ends with an R.
Decatur?
Gator.
Yes.
That was it. It was the Decatur Staleys. Gosh, dang it.
It was
Did
Gator.
we just talk about that?
Decatur
you been,
Staleys.
Baymax?
I knew there was a team that was named that when they started. God damn it.
Maybe
Oh,
maybe whenever they were the Bears, maybe that's when they played in Bourbonnier. But sorry. Forgot all the way back to Decatur Staleys. My fault. I thought we were talking about the Bears. God.
God.
All right.
I'm gonna have to change your name to Will O for my bone. I didn't say a bad word. I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's go one more round. Let's go.
At this point.
What?
What? Nuke.
What?
Texas A&M. Get out of here.
Well, it looks like Ace is frozen.
Ace, you're doing great.
Elsa!
Hey, I got a quick question. I got a trivia question to fill in. What is the internet provider of Ace from the West Coast? I can tell you, starts with a T and ends
Spectrum.
with Flash.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Ace, you're back. All right.
All right. So, Vic, your last question of the night.
Oh, I love it.
In the Steelers' first Super Bowl appearance,
I hate
who
the
did they
Steelers.
beat? Who did they beat?
In their first Super Bowl?
Really? Give her all these questions. God dang it.
Well,
This one is not
I didn't know
actually
that's
hard if
easy
you think
for me.
about it, Vic.
It's not that easy for her because she's not
Hey,
knowing
Vic.
the answer.
Vic,
What?
since you helped me out, I'll try to give you a clue. Think about
I
the
know who it
70s.
is.
Who
I know
were
who
the
it
big
is.
two teams in the 70s?
I know
The
who
two
it is.
biggest teams. Huh?
I know who it is.
Okay.
They're purple, and I don't like them.
Yes.
They're the one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eaters from Minnesota.
You got it right.
Fran Tarkington. He's my favorite ever.
Hmm.
Will does not look pleased. That is not a pleased face right there.
No.
How many stitches make up the Pittsburgh Steelers logo on their uniform?
No. But okay, so here's your
God.
final question of the night, Will. In 2000, Tom Brady was the fourth quarterback on the New England Patriots depth chart. Can you name the quarterback just ahead of him at number 3?
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing a true form of just bias and hatred. And I don't know, because I thought Ace and I were cool. I never thought that, him and I ever had any bad blood. I never thought that I did anything to him. In fact, I reached out to him today because he was supposed to have a debate and certain things happened. I reached out, make sure he was okay. And I get who was the third string quarterback for the New England Patriots in 2000. Ace, I hope it was you.
Old?
How old? I was 2. I was 2. At the beginning of the season, I was 2. At preseason, I was 1. Okay. What is that?
What is
Who
that?
was third on the depth chart? Josh McCown's played for every team in the NFL. I'm going Josh McCown. That's not correct. Move on.
No, it's not good. Well, since you're saying that you don't know that one, you know what? Let's finish on an easy note here.
I'll say
No.
Doug Flutie, by the way.
I don't take participation ribbons.
You don't take participation ribbons.
No, I lost.
So, J-Mac.
I
you
said
have-
Doug Flutie, by the way.
No, okay.
Drew Bledsoe.
No,
was
That's how it's starting.
John Freeze.
it was actually Michael Bishop.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't
Exactly.
know who that is.
Let
Is
me
he a
get the
real
career
player?
passing stats on Michael Bishop before we go on. In fact, ask J-Mac his question. I'll look that one up. Michael, go ahead. Question time. I'm having fun.
Right?
You don't sound like you're having fun.
Having fun.
You know
Pretty
what?
sure there's gonna be a nice weirder picture of Ace
Oh
next week.
my Lord!
Yeah.
No, hold on. 3 for 9 in his career.
I love it.
Oh,
80 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. 3 for 9. This guy had a career completion percentage of 33%. Took 9 snaps in his career, and you wanted me to pull that name. Thanks.
by the way, what was his career rating? I'm curious.
Terrible. That's what his career rating
Do you know?
was.
Did it say
Trash.
what it was?
It
Trash.
starts with a T and ends with rash. That's terrible.
Well, I was only curious, Will, because my only point was if it's worse than 39.3 for a rating, 39.3 is the rating you get if you snap the ball and throw it into the ground every single attempt of your career.
He had a touchdown, so I'm assuming his rating was 64-4.
Okay. But still. Yeah.
All right.
You get
So
39.3.
passes. He really took advantage.
Tuck it into the ground.
Your final question of the night, and this is from 2007.
Ooh.
Okay.
13 years ago.
Tony Romo was the starting quarterback. Who was the backup quarterback that year?
Oh.
You're not the third string. Sure, it's not the equipment manager.
Right.
The accountant on the Cowboys.
2007.
You know what? Next time, Will gets the easy ones, just to tell you.
Thank God.
2007, I'll say it was John Kitna.
No. Does anybody else have any guesses?
Couple names.
Was it Kitna? Are you sure?
It was not Kitna. I will tell you, this person actually played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What?
Yes. No.
Kellen Moore?
Did you drink before you came on here and found this stuff?
No, I'm saying, listen. The person that was backing
Brad
up Tony
Johnson.
Romo, yes, Brad was actually the starter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it was actually Brad Johnson.
He's the only Tampa Bay quarterback I liked.
Okay.
All right, we had fun, right, guys?
FUN.
FUN. Yeah.
I miss pass, hold, fold.
You know what? I will do that. I just wanted to try something new this week, so I wanted to go.
On this game, I'm gonna fold.
No, I want to try something new. I think I wanted to see how much history you guys knew and little things.
The third string quarterback for the New England.
How much history did we know? Are you kidding me? Like who knows that? If you ask anyone who knows those answers.
If you're a Patriots fan, you probably know it.
Michael Bishop was the third string quarterback in 2000, and he doesn't know he was the third string quarterback in 2000. Get that out of here.
All right.
Get that out.
So that is it. So with that being said about Anchor. So J-Mac, go ahead and tell us a little bit about Anchor.
Well, I will tell you this. This week alone, I have uploaded 6 episodes from our network onto there. And if you can't watch us tonight, you can't watch any night that we have a show on, and you want to listen to us, your lunch break, your way to work, just sitting around the house and you don't have time to sit down at a computer, but you want to listen to your headphones, hop on Anchor and check out ASAP Network. We're on there. We got all the shows on there. Give us a listen. And if you want to start a podcast yourself, you want to try this, looks like fun, you want to try it, go to anchor.fm.com. They'll give you all the tools you need. And the best part is everything is free to start.
All right. And then, Will, one last time, go ahead and tell us a little bit about those free T-shirts.
None of you are winning a free T-shirt until I get better questions. No, I'm kidding. Be down in the comments section. We see Madison's been down there all night. Matthew Perry, Nate, obviously down there in the comment section as well. If you're down there engaging with us, engaging with the show, liking, sharing, commenting, anything you can do to help build the brand, we're going to tally that all up at the end of the month. And whoever has the most at the end will be the new viewer of the month and win your very own ASAP Network T-shirt. What is Mike Ditka doing right now?
Drinking a beer.
I've been pondering that. I can tell you what he's not doing. He's not in the comments section, but you could be, and you could win a free T-shirt by doing that. And that would be something that you have that Mike Ditka doesn't. And not a lot of things you can say that.
All right. So now you guys each have 30 seconds to kind of wrap up whatever it is you need to say. So J-Mac, you go ahead and start off. You got 30 seconds.
NHL kicked off today. Man, it's always an exciting season. So look out for that. Also, Manfred came out, worst commissioner in the history of sports, but still, he came out and said that they're aiming for a 162 game season with a full spring training. We will see what happens, Mr. Manfred. However, I don't really care for you much. So I wish we had Bud Selig back, to be honest, in Major League Baseball. That's what we need right now. Selig, please come save us. Please come save us. NFL action this weekend. Playoffs. Yeah, playoffs.
All right. Will, you got 30 seconds?
I got snubbed in the trivia rounds. Totally not fair. Michael Bishop is my new least favorite quarterback. At second, I should say. Let's all be honest. Shout out to my brother. Happy birthday, brother. You're 31st. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Glad you made it this far. And everybody else, great week. Hockey's back. I'm loving it. Hot stove finally starting to kick up in the MLB. And so hopefully we'll have some more exciting news coming up here soon. So,
all right. And then, Vic, you got 30 seconds.
I just want to take a quick moment to go back 4 days when Ace and I did our Saturday show. And my predictions for the Sunday games were Baltimore, Saints, and Browns. I went 3 for 3. I was called not polite words when I picked the Ravens because Ace put all his money on Derrick Henry and then Ryan Tannehill being the go-to guy.
why would you ever?
He did it.
Derrick Henry. I said Derrick Henry. I did not say Ryan Tannehill.
You said you would pick Tannehill over Jackson.
Baltimore should have easily won that game.
Throwing. I said I would trust Tannehill a lot more throwing than I would Lamar Jackson. But I will take my humble pie. I will take my humble pie.
Eat it up. And then the Browns. I mean, come on. That was a beautiful game.
I think everybody enjoyed that one.
Poor little Juju had to eat his words. And then Big Ben crying on the sideline. Go cry a river. I'm done with you.
Congrats, Nick.
Right.
I was 3 for 3.
All right. So I hope everybody has a fantastic night. And guess what, Will? For next week, instead of trivia, we'll go back to pass, hold, and fold because I know everybody likes that game.
No, I'm going with Madison. We're asking you questions next week.
Oh yeah? No, This is called Aces Mini Games.
Not anymore. You've reached the danger zone, buddy.
Oh, yeah?
This is going to be bad now. Okay? I've lost 50 pounds, okay? If I lose any more weight before next Wednesday's episode, I'm going to ask you that many questions of just backups, third strings, practice squads. You're done. You're done, mate.
I'm done. All right. So I really hope everybody has a fantastic night. And tomorrow, don't forget about Real Talk. And then Friday, we have Boxed Out again. And then Saturday, we'll be back for Sports Minute. And I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend and enjoy some playoffs. So have a great night. See you again. Yeah.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. They work in your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.